I want to go into this narrative psychology real fast, right? So, welcome back to the channel. We're destroying narratives, man. We're destroying psychologies, demons, or whatever you want to call it. They try to come in when a person's about to elevate themselves, right? So, this one I got for you is the difference between what you can do and what you have to do. All right, so now, for instance, say I was creating something, right? I'm going to jump right into this, okay? So say I was creating something, and within the functionalities of it, it was my idea. It came authentically out of my own imagination. I conjured up the idea, and now I want to go create this thing, you know what I'm saying, and have it functioning and working for me. Sometimes with some things, we get the idea or notion that we can create the thing however we want to create it. Like, and we can just do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? And it turn out to look exactly how we intend to look. Or it intends to look. We intend it to look. And that's a narrative. That's a false narrative, false psychology. That's a quote unquote demon right there. Like, no. When we get into when we set a goal and we want something to look a specific way that's coming out of our dream, our imagination, and authentic space, no, not necessarily. We don't control everything that we have to do. There are certain things that we must do, and it's best. I'm thinking along the line, it's good to understand that you need to come with that psychology of, okay, there's things that I have to do in order for it to look the way that I want it to look, and how I imagine and dream it to look. It's not necessarily, I'm this creative dude that just goes around creating things, and it's coming out of my own just authentic imagination, and you know what I'm saying, I'm just doing whatever I want to do, and it's creating it, and you know what I'm saying, it's creating exactly what I want it to like. Nah. You have to do things that you might not want to do, and you have to be able to, endure some things that you might not want to endure in order to create some things, you know what I'm saying, and create what you're actually trying to create, or carve out your imagination or dream or whatever, right? For instance, like, say I'm going to go really, really, really in detail, because I feel like that is the way I'm actually reach you guys and actually get this point across. For instance, say I want to, I have it in my own imagination to do a specific thing, right? I may say, like, I want to wear the color blue, right? But with what I'm trying to create, it would make more sense for me to wear green. All right. What color would you wear? Right. This is one of those instances where it's not going to really matter. Right. That's one of them instances where you would go off how you feel. Right. You feel like you want to wear blue, but you feel like in your own mind that if you wore green, it would make more sense. But you wear blue because that's what you really feel like you want to wear. Okay, that's one instance where you would be right. Okay, to trust your gut and go how you feel, right? But there are certain instances where you have. I mean, in order to make sure authentically that you get something the way that you want it to look, there are instances where you would have to be, you would have to endure things, I'll say, that you may not want to endure, or deal with external factors that you may not want to deal with, in order for you to create what it is that you're trying to create. And there's no way out of it. Like, there's not necessarily anything you can do about it. You can't get disengaged from what you're doing, or let your surroundings or circumstances disengage you from the mission at hand and exactly how you wanted it to look. You know what I'm saying? Because external forces is a huge distraction in terms of you know what I'm saying, getting things done the exact way that you want it to look, right? For instance, like maybe how somebody else would feel about you. You know what I'm saying? If you did something, right? You know what I'm saying? That's one example of this. And that's a huge one. right? What somebody else would feel about you if you did it. Like if you continue to do things, functionalities that will allow you to progress in the way that you want to progress. This is something that can get blown way out of proportion, and this is an external source that you would just have to make sure that you stay completely aligned with what you're doing and what you want to do and how you specifically envision it, and as well as being able to stay engaged, not disengage from what it is that you're trying to do. And like I said, when it comes to doing, when it comes to doing things out of your own like carving things out of your own imagination, like I said, it's important to understand the idea that you have can come from an authentic place. Your imagination and your creativity can come from an authentic place. And what you want to do with that imagination or creativity may come from a specific place. But some of the experiences that you might have might not be exactly what you intended, to happen. But, they're there, and, they have to be maneuvered through, and worked with in order for you to carve out exactly what you wanted in your imagination, right? And the thing about this and why it could be so difficult to comprehend and push through is very simple. It's because when you set out in your mind that you're going to do something specifically exactly how you imagined it, when you experience things that aren't as you imagined it, of course, you're going to disengage. The first response would naturally kind of be to disengage because, okay, logically, this isn't exactly how I, pictured it to be experienced. So naturally, I'm going to disengage. However, these, whatever these, backwards, experiences may be, it's important to understand, like, logically, and get in your mind. It has to literally process and fluctuate within your mind psychologically that if I go through this, and if I go through this, then I can get this after. You know what I'm saying? And that's the disengagement that comes with carving out yourself authentically in what you want to do versus versus falling short, right? It's that aspect of this thing that I'm going through right now doesn't feel like I'm making progress, right? It's not necessarily you backing away because a little bit of pressure came on you. No, the reason that you're backing away isn't because you're weak. It isn't because you're not strengthened enough to go to the task. No, it's simply because this doesn't feel like how I imagined it. So why would I continue doing it? But the important thing to understand, even if you feel that way, is to consciously register and understand that if I go through this, and if I can stay aligned with my with my purpose or with whatever I'm trying to do, with this, then I can get exactly what I want afterwards, right? And at the end, you know what I'm saying? And this is not necessarily going through pain. Like, this is most of the time is dealing with how other people feel about you, and then in turn how it makes you feel about yourself, right? As you continue going, right? Because now once you get that sort of feeling, you know what I'm saying, it makes you feel like what you're doing, it makes you feel less of yourself doing what you intentionally intended on doing. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a matter of being able to register and understand that even though I feel like ass, as I'm doing it, you know what I'm saying, I'm still putting myself in a position that I want to do. So this is the second psychology, or this is another psychology or narrative, or quote unquote, we slaying psychologies in this in this MF, man. You know what I'm saying? We slaying psychology. So this is the second one. you know what I'm saying, going on this deep art series of slaying psychologies, right? And we're gonna have some more psychologies coming, and that's what we do. Definitely check out this whole series, man. If you someone dealing with I guess I'll say like generational curses, or dealing with a impoverished mind state or mind frame, or not being able to lift up or get up, and dealing with like mental warfare, and all these thoughts, and that you got to be down, or whatever. And check this channel out, because we slaying narratives, we slaying psychologies in this MF, man. So this is number 2, and we're gonna have plenty of more that we get up. So peace, and we out this joint.